Hello and welcome to the Chesapeake Today show. That's right, I'm flying solo this week. So I'm Candace Montgomery, Director of Life Enrichment. Wanted to take the time to just talk about some of the things that we have coming up, recap on the week that we just had. David has been on a Lifespire retreat, so the time that we would typically be recording, he is in South Carolina with a group of folks from home office. So wanted to be sure that we still did our recording. I know schedules can be crazy sometimes, but we have a lot of good things coming up. So just to recap, we had our Candygram sales last week, which was just so heartwarming to see team members giving candygrams to residents giving candygrams to team members, but also family members stopped by and said, I think I'll send my mom one, or I'll send my parents one, just as a sweet surprise. And I think that's so wonderful. So those will be delivered this week on Valentine's Day. So we'll be making door drop-offs with those. And then team member ones will also be distributed to their various departments. So very excited about that. So this week, we've got some things coming up. So Monday, there is a trip to the Virginia Living Museum, leaving at 9:15 from the Hampton entrance. Pool class. There's a new pool aqua aerobics class that's in the evening at 5. I had the pleasure of coming to the one that was last week. It was so much fun. It did my heart some good. Team members and residents are able to go to this class at 5 p.m. It's an hour-long class. Crystal led that class. So it's great. It was a great chance for team members and residents to engage in a different way. I know it did my heart some good and kind of made me miss those days of teaching group fitness class and being with residents in that regard. So definitely want to check that out. I know I'll be teaching the class that's on the 26th. So you want to make sure that you come out. It's going to be every Monday at 5 p.m. in the pool. So that's Monday, and then Tuesday the 13th, we have our regular shopping trip leaving at 10 a.m. from the Hampton entrance. That evening, we'll have the Doorway Singers. They're going to be doing their Mardi Gras performance. The Doorway Singers are that lovely group that comes and does our Christmas carols, but also they are amazing and talented singers doing more than just Christmas. So Mardi Gras will be their specialty on the 13th. Wednesday, of course, is Valentine's Day, but it's also Ash Wednesday. So Uwe is going to be doing his Ash Wednesday service at 10 a.m. Going to be in the Chesapeake room. Crystal has started another new class, so lunch break mat yoga in the aerobic studio, again for residents and team members, 12:30 in the aerobic studio. That evening is wine club dinner. I am sure that they'll be having a Valentine's Day theme. And then, of course, the movie that evening is Casablanca. On the 15th, so that's Thursday, there's a 9 a.m. Jefferson Commons shopping trip. We've had more and more folks who said they kind of want to get out and just see what Jefferson Commons has to offer. You could do grocery shopping, clothes shopping, pretty much everything you can think of is right there in that strip. Ms. Joan Platzman is going to be leading the Basics of Decorative Painting. That has been every Thursday at 10 a.m. in the Creative Arts Studio. And then that day is the day we also have our partnership with the Seaford Elementary Kids Clubs. Very excited about this partnership, having a boys club and a girls club, and having residents take part as well and doing a hands-on activity. It gets them engaged not just with their mind, but also with intergenerational conversations. So very much looking forward to that. We'll have our craft in the beginning, whatever the exercise is, and then also doing a lunch afterwards for those who participate in. Friday the 16th, we've got a quick lunch trip to Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. So incorporating those short lunch trips that aren't really a sit-down restaurant, but more of a fast food. Those have been very popular. 1 p.m. still with our Honoring Black History is going to be the movie Just Mercy. That's at 1 p.m. in the Explorer Room. Crystal will be leading a workshop called The Power of Loving Kindness. That's going to be at 1:30 in the aerobic studio. 2 trips Friday evening. 6:45 is leaving for the Virginia Symphony Orchestra presents Sinatra and Beyond. That one sounds like a great one at the Ferguson. And then the Smithfield Little Theater at 7:15 presents Exit Laughing. Sounds pretty interesting. So 2 different trips that evening. And then on Saturday the 17th, Matthew has his tech time, and then also another Ferguson trip, 2:30, going to the Ferguson for Menopause the Musical 2 should be very interesting. And then that evening is the movie Lincoln, and that wraps up our week. It's hard to believe we only have 2 more full weeks in February because this is a leap year here. So very much looking forward to what else that February has to hold. Hopefully you all have noticed in the connection that we do have this new page talking a little bit more about winter wellness. These are going to change every month. You'll see a new banner here. Also the resident council, we've switched up a lot here. Also you'll notice if we go back, lots of folks said that they missed the reservation sheet in the regard that it gave a snapshot of all of the things that you needed to sign up for. So this page that says upcoming trips, this is what this page is now. So lots of new things to explore in the connection, new headers that are going to change monthly, just new formatting of how we do things. So be sure that you're kind of paying attention to this. This is your monthly passport for everything that's happening within the community. So be sure to read it thoroughly. And if you have any questions, feedback, if there's some trips that you'd like to see on here, please let us know. We always welcome that. We've expanded, and now our social media just isn't on Facebook. We're on Instagram and TikTok too. I have seen that some residents have been following us on Instagram. Lots of team members now follow us on TikTok. But it's been a lot of fun being able to share pictures and videos of things happening around the community on those other platforms and seeing family members interact. It's a beautiful thing. So be sure, if you have family that has those social media platforms, to encourage them to follow us. All of our information for those other platforms is on our Facebook page. So we've been trying to get the word out about those other platforms so that family, friends know that they can follow all the fun in those different ways. Hopefully we can include a video on the second half of this that you'll be able to see a few of those TikTok and Instagram posts. Just because, you can set fun music to the background. I know we captured the cardio drumming class the other day and created a reel, a TikTok video in that way. So it's fun just to kind of educate residents too on these different social media platforms and the way that we can utilize them. All right, well, since I am flying solo, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter recap and upcoming things this week. Be sure to stay tuned for future tapings of the Chesapeake Today Show, because we are going to be taking it more on the road and outside of just where we typically record, which is in David's office. So you may see us in the boutique. You may see us in a resident's apartment. We were in the server room last week showing, Touchtown and all of the ins and outs of technology that Matthew explained. So be sure to stay tuned for those other outlets, and we will be taking it on the road. So if you have something interesting that you would like to be on video about, please let us know, because we could come to your apartment, showcase those special items, and educate all of us and learn something new about each and every resident. All right, we'll see you next week.
Hey, we're here for a special interview, actually a special visit. David Loop, your executive director, Matt Curry, our tech specialist galore, and of course our executive producer Isaiah on camera. We're down here in what we call the server room. It's sort of our technology room here at the Chesapeake. Other things will be coming up as far as like a visit to our mechanical room, etc. But today, Matt, we are in confined quarters. We're in what is this room? 10 by 12 foot in size?
About that, so it's pretty tight in here.
But even though we've gotten through, we have a lock system that's very secure. Above us, you don't see this. We have an air conditioning unit, so all this equipment has to be super cooled. But Matt, why don't you just walk us through what are some of the things in this technology server room, even maybe identifying what is a server?
Sure. Really what a server is a piece of hardware that serves data. It can even be a PC, can act as a server. Some of the things we have in here behind this panel are the security camera servers and the file servers that provide storage and data to the admin offices of the Chesapeake. Right here in this middle here above us, we have the
radio repeaters?
Yeah, exactly. Radio repeaters for the community.
So what that means is we have the ability for our maintenance team, housekeepers, that we don't rely on cell phone, but we have walkie-talkie radios And we have signals that are boosted throughout the campus, and these items boost certain channels that we use for those daily and emergency communications.
Yes, sir. And in this middle panel here, kind of where I've been working here for the last couple of weeks, is the Touchtown equipment that provides our cable TV with the channel, with the slides and the information that we put into Touchtown. It's all basically run from this PC right here, output through the monitor, and a second output back through our channel insertion point, which you'll see in just a minute, to send a signal to our cable TV. This is the little unit that goes behind the various TVs mounted around the community, like in the Hampton area and the cafe. This provides the slideshows to those TVs separately.
So we've got technology, yes, in this room. There are sometimes technology is deployed outside.
Yes, sir.
And the computers and all of this. Matt, I know that our connectivity, so much of this is now through, we use the word internet, Ethernet and beyond, and we also now have a lot of fiber optics.
Yes.
And I know that LifeSpire, under Robert Wilbanks over the last few years, we have so much redundancy, meaning we actually have two different feeds for internet and for fiber, if you will, to this campus. Because we have a primary one and our actually backup is with Cox. So we maintain all of that redundancy because so much of our medical records, so many of our systems rely on that internet connection.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they're all cloud-based, which means they're hosted on separate equipment by the companies themselves, like Touchtown, or in the case of our dining reservation system, QSR Dine Time portal.
Very good. Now, this is a bunch of spaghetti, and believe it or not, this is typical to these rooms.
Yes, sir.
And there's spaghetti here. We're not going to show you all the spaghetti behind because there's also all the connections for telephone, etc. That's what happens when you have all these computers, etc. And it's sort of natural. They don't always shorten cords perfectly, but it's understood, it's labeled, it's identified. So that we're not going to put meatballs on it, but it's a bunch of spaghetti.
Speaking for text, we do try our best to maintain a neat appearance, but sometimes things, life happens.
One thing that I can speak of is in this room right behind me is a system that when I came my second year, we had to replace a 20-some-year-old fire panel. So the Notifier, this is the brains of all of our fire alarm system. It's what is activated if a sprinkler head ever has a link break because of heat. It's what's activated if we pull a cord. It activates at any time we have a general fire alarm. And it's the system that controlling all of the door shutting, etc. So a very, very important one. It's battery backup, it's connectivity, but this is the brains and state-of-the-art equipment that we put in several years ago for fire protection.
Yeah, a lot of things come in through this room, but they get fed upstairs to various maintenance closets and TV rooms.
So it's sort of like a brain, maybe. It's a brain but it has all this nervous system.
Yes, sir.
That's connected. So again, high tech, and oh my gosh, Matt, if you start thinking about this room, hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Easily. I've dealt with much larger rooms and for the last 20, 30, almost 30 years, and this is very.
A lot of expensive stuff.
Exactly.
That we take care of, we air condition, we lock it, try to do it right. All right. Did you want to point out anything else? I mean, we have more systems that are on this back wall. Again, some of it's repetitive. It's fascinating, even with our telephone systems and all the data there, we still have to this community what's called the old-fashioned POTS line.
Absolutely, yes, sir. But they are fed in digitally, but then converted to POTS lines once they get in the building.
And I think that's true there. Plus, it's also true in all the elevators. Because you may say, what happens if something went down in our phone system? Well, the elevator communication, as well as a line in our nurses station, relies on old technology to be redundant, but it's more foolproof.
All right. And for those of you who don't know, POTS just simply means plain old telephone system.
There we go. Simple POTS, and that's what we got.
Yep.
Okay? Anything else? And I'll get out of your way, Isaiah, for something else that Matt wants to point out.
So, if you'll swing around back here, we'll just kind of take a quick look. This box right here is called an insertion point for the Cox cable television. And I will go ahead and open that up. In here, we have the various feeds from the entrance cameras that we have at Yorktown, Hampton, and Newport. They're fed into here, and this is how you get those on channels 1993, 94, 95. Or excuse me, 94, 95, 96, excuse me. This here is the feed that is back routed to that PC I just showed you for Touchtown that routes the signal into the cable system for channel 1992.
Okay. All righty.
And outside of that, we have the, like I said, Mr. Loop said, the POTS lines that go feed the extension of the telephones around the various areas of the community. They all come in here through our SEGRA demarcation point and get fed up. And that's pretty much it from this area. A lot of this stuff I do not personally deal with. That's up to our LifeSpire IT guys. They do an excellent job. I'd like to give a big shout out to them. But if needed, I'm always available to come in here and help out.
Yep. Well, we greatly appreciate that, Matt. And again, from the resident standpoint, again, thank you, Isaiah, for negotiating this room. But it is the brains of a lot of our systems. It's a well-maintained, good backup, state-of-the-art system. And just as you had helped us, almost a $10,000 improvement in Touchtown.
Yes, sir.
As that platform alone was increased. So, yep, ladies, yes, we're always talking about the guys keeping this tidy. Not him, but my other IT and people who are in here, keeping it organized and neat. And again, we want to respect this investment, which all of you have ultimately funded. So I hope this is a very different type of interview, but you got not Matt Curry, you got a little bit of me. He knows much more than I do, but you now know more about our server technology room. We appreciate your time today, and until next time, have a great week.